Holy
Hi-oh.
crap, Radio Mofo bonus episode Friday. We had to bring the locksmith on and his look at that hat. I mean, if you're not watching the video, that is an impressive hat.
Know your angles.
That hat carries a lot of power and weight.
Yeah.
There are people that see that hat coming, they fucking run. No,
Not
I'm
wrong.
serious. I am serious.
Like
There's
his
people that
your
think he's a
kids.
park ranger too.
Yep. Park ranger. That's the title I earned one from a hobo here in town.
You do kind of it does kind of give off the vibe of someone who's telling people to not start forest fires.
I mean, I have said that to people before.
He tends to wear it low like a state trooper, so you know he means business.
You need some big shades
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Some big ass aviators.
You
But
guys should get.
you were the man that every drunken idiot called during Oktoberfest, right? How did it go for you?
I was busy weekend. Pretty much nonstop key making all weekend long, which is weird. Usually I unlock plenty of beer, but I didn't even unlock a single beer room this year.
Huh. Do you ever get tipped in beer substances or anything like that?
Not this year, but in years past, yeah, I've been offered cases of beer in lieu of paying for it, or you know, this, that, or the other thing. And I remind them like I can't drink. I'm doing this the whole time. Oh, you're not having any fun? Absolutely not. I need money. That's what I need.
Eh,
And I have no qualms of taking the money of drunken idiots.
Oh yeah. College kids are a special breed, that's for sure.
Do
They
you ever
still
get
live a life without repercussions.
Yeah, really.
yes. Or kids, you get kids that need you immediately before their parents find out that they've locked themselves out.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had one that I did. It was Chevy, and it had fur on everything on the inside of the truck, and then it had lifted huge wheels that obviously it's never going to leave the highway. You know, it's a pavement princess, but huge rims, huge tires, and then the kid in there was like 5'7", like just short.
Checks out Napoleon complex.
Oh yeah, for sure. Him and his buddy are like, oh, I lost our keys. I don't know where they are. 10 minutes later, I had keys for him.
What about hotels? Do you ever get calls from, is there a procedure with hotels that's different?
I got a couple hotels in town that installed really dumb locks, and they fail locked, which is not typical for hotel locks. Usually they're set to fail open, you know, because when they break, you want them to unlock, not lock. And so this one hotel in town, it's set to fail lock every single time. So when they fail, they can't unlock them because they totally fail. Every electronic part broke. There's no mechanical key. So either they drill it off, or they have me come down and use my special under the door tool and pop the door open from the inside.
Ooh, I didn't know there was an under the door tool. I've seen stuff. You have something that'll take the chain off a door, right?
Yep, yep, those exist. I usually just clip them with my wire clippers, though. Oop, trade
Damn.
secret.
Suddenly hotel rooms seem a lot less safe.
Nowhere safe. I had a ride along for me on Saturday, and buddy that was with me said, he goes, I feel like terrified how little security is in all of these cars and all these houses. You just kind of blow on it, rub the door a little bit, and then the door swings
Yeah.
open.
Good
It's pretty great.
Lord.
It's like Fonzie hitting like
The
the machine
jukebox.
at Al's. You know, it's the
Yep.
jukebox just automatically kicks in for him.
You got to see me make a key for a Kia, and I like typed the VIN number in on one of my systems and got the code for the key and printed the key, and we were out of there in 20 minutes. And he looked at me and goes, so you just can make keys for anything you want to at any time? Like, absolutely, I can. Nowhere safe for me. He laughed.
That's why you're a very good friend to have.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be a new shirt for the Mofo store. Maybe a picture of the locksmith's hat, and it's just gonna say nowhere is safe.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna work
Just
on that
him,
this
him in like a
afternoon.
black silhouette. Nowhere is safe.
Nowhere is safe. Or just a key. That would be great for your business.
I
I'll
mean,
give
I
you a
would.
cut. I'll get you in on the shirt action.
Ground floor of a lucrative business.
Hey, shirts are where it's at.
Ah,
That's Ubers out there. That's how they make their money. They sell shirts all day.
Yeah, we got to think of some new merch ideas.
dude, I sent you so many ideas.
I know, but I don't know how the hell to illustrate uh what what were some of them offhand.
Oh, let's see. Let me find it here.
Oh God. Something about a priest, a nun, and somebody walks into a bar.
No, 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 no. All right. So you asked me, we need some new shirt ideas. And I'm like, a stick finger bending over with radio waves shooting out of his ass into someone else's ears. That was one idea. Another one, an image of two shepherds overlooking a field of beavers. Another one was beavers stampeding like cattle. Another one, kind of cheesy, a microphone exploding.
Okay, we could do that.
Another one, a beaver talking into a microphone. Last one, a version of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil,
But
but
with
with
beavers.
beavers instead of monkeys.
Damn it.
And I, for our newer listeners out there, if you don't understand the whole beaver fixation, it goes back to the earliest forms of radio mofo when Mikey had this wild hair up his ass about like we should go downtown with a digital recorder and get some raw audio because he
Yep.
just wasn't satisfied with the goofy shit that we picked up over the phone at the radio station, and so he made up these T-shirts that said "Beaver Hunt,"
Yep.
which I still don't understand where the correlation came from. That otherwise, it does roll off the tongue. It is an interesting concept. But there was no beaver and there was no hunting other than just for hunting for stories. And that first time we did it, we got some really good classic stories, like the pity fucking one. That one still makes
Yeah.
me laugh. That was from Trucker Bob.
I think we may have to post those again. My favorite being the guy that admitted to whacking off in a Taco Bell. That was Super
Oh
J.
God, Super J, yeah.
And Super J is the kind of guy that probably did whack off in a
That
Taco
could
Bell.
have, yeah, that had a high probability of actually being a real story.
I once whacked off in a Taco Bell bathroom.
But so that's where Beaver Hunt came from, and we've done subsequent beaver hunts to varying success. Because like that one time we went out, we got nothing because these millennial kids, they'll spill their guts on the internet, but when it actually comes to doing like someone recording their stories, they all run away like little screaming babies.
Yeah,
We're
because we're
still too
generally looking
sober.
for awkward moments. What the one time the thing that worked was just buying people drinks until they were hammered enough to talk. But then there were those
Well,
two girls that followed me around after you left that night. You kind of
that was the last time that we did it. But like when we first did it, we were kind of regular barflies ourselves, so we knew where to go find our friends and other regulars that would share stuff with us, like Trucker Bob or Super J.
yeah.
Or we got a lot of audio out of the casino bar from the patrons that were in there because A, it was a lot quieter, and B, they've been sitting there drinking for a while. And a lot of them were theater people, so they love to talk.
Oh yeah. They love any chance to promote themselves as well. What
But
about awkward stories from the locksmith? You've got to have some weird ones. You ever have any naked people locking themselves? I'll admit to locking myself out of a hotel room once when I was just wearing my boxers. It was late at night and I thought I'd run down to the ice machine that was like two rooms down from my room and lock myself out and I had to go to the front desk. And
I
then
had one exactly like that girl last year. I was in a hotel, totally unrelated to her being there, working on like the front door locks. So I'm dinking around, and this girl comes down in a bed sheet, not a robe, bed sheet, and she's totally naked. Her ass is hanging out, like just totally naked. And she comes up to the hotel staff. She's like, "Hey, the guy I was with, he just left, and he took all my things. and his stuff.
Oh,
And they were like, well, he didn't pay for the hotel room. And it looks like he used your card to pay for it last night. So you're on the hook for it. She goes, well, I don't have the money to pay for it. And they're like, well, that sucks. And she's like, can I get back in the room? And they're like, no, it's in his name. So we can't let you back in the room.
oh
So
my.
poor naked girl is just like sitting in the entryway of this like Candlewood Suites, looking around, trying to figure out like what to do next. And at one point, she's like, "Well, fine. I guess there's nothing of mine in the room anyway." And she just walked out the door into the freezing like February day that it was that day.
God.
Holy shit. Wow. So I suppose so legally she had no access to the room.
Yep, and they were
to,
so
was she a lady of the night?
I don't know. She didn't look like Lady Night. Usually they look a little rougher than she did. She looked a little too put together. Like, they just got drunk and settled down for the closest hotel, which unfortunately was across the street from the warming center. It's
Huh.
fine.
Now, you said she didn't look like a lady of the night. Like you've had experiences with these, not personally, but you've run into them on occasion.
Oh, I unlock their cars all the time. Strippers, ladies of the night. I mean, they're not coy about it. They're
Is it
like
usually at truck stops?
truck stops sometimes just in the middle of the city. Usually at Walmart though. Walmart attracts strippers and hookers like nowhere else.
Jesus.
Huh.
One time I was unlocking, it was like 2:30 in the morning. I get a call from this girl, come unlock me at the Southside Walmart. So I roar over there. You get over there, and I've unlocked her car before. She's just got one of those huge purses, the big ones. And
With her various instruments of her profession.
oh no, there's nothing in there but money. And she just
Oh,
dumped it over on her hood completely carelessly. Winds like blowing $100 bills and money, and her other friends running after him and grabbing them because it was like $100 call because it was the middle of the bloody night. So she counted out $100 in ones and handed me.
Oh, God.
But she decided to give ones.
Were they all sticky?
Yes, and they had a smell.
why were you wait? The smell was radiating that much from them that you noticed it, or you sniffed them?
You
Oh,
could
come
smell
on, Mikey.
Well,
from far out. You could smell them, and then
oh
somebody
God.
sprayed perfume on the money to try to make it like not stink, and
Jesus Christ.
stunk like perfume and whatever the hell was on them. And I try not to think about it because God knows,
See,
what.
one thing that it will always, always, always be true is you go in a bathroom, drop, whatever disgusting thing Todd's probably going to do with his anchovy meal in a
I
few
did already,
hours.
but I mean, tomorrow's another day.
But nothing ever covers up ass except maybe diesel fumes, I would think might. But all it does is make potpourri. I think Dave Attell has a bit about it. He's like, you've got like your lemon air freshener and stuff like that, but nothing beats ass. Like all you've got now is a lemon ass, and
That is the
nothing
trump card.
yeah, there's the only thing that I can think of that ever actually worked was one of my roommates' dad was a truck driver, and he had a case of that. It's like cinnamon stuff that goes into those industrial sprayers that go into bathrooms and like a quick trip that are on a timer. And this cinnamon stuff that we had actually burned your eyes. So I don't know if we didn't smell it anymore or if we were just in that much pain from the spray. We actually got into an air freshener fight at one time, and the one roommate locked himself in his room, and we cracked open the vent to his room and filled it full of cinnamon air freshener. And he lasted as long, to his credit, he lasted a while, but I think it was kind of like pepper spraying somebody. But
I've had
anyway,
loop that in the van on the way to college once or twice. Your driver falls just right, pokes a hole in the lube can. That stuff, when it blows up, it might smell like oranges, but it hurts like mace. It's pretty hard to drive when there's just cloud in your car.
a what can?
Lube.
Lube?
Mm-hmm. industrial lube and a spray can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the P Diddy lube, like
No.
the professional, like mechanics lube.
Well, to be
Not baby.
fair, that was baby oil.
Yeah, I don't know how that guy got a literal fuck ton of baby oil. Where do you buy that much? I don't understand.
When you're that rich, you can get anything, any time of the day.
Some kind of industrial supply place like Uline.
He's like their biggest client.
You guys carry baby oil by the pallet?
Well, we got some 50-gallon drums.
You know, I've actually seen the 50-gallon drum.
I kind of envision, like in Breaking Bad, when they're stealing that gallon of chemicals. Like Diddy's got like two guys trying to sneak out, and they keep dropping the fucking can because it's slippery.
Why did it have to be baby oil?
Got like a crew of people in a warehouse, like filling the little bottles up,
He makes them do it naked so nobody can steal any of the baby oil too, like when they used to cut crack.
Jesus.
Oh God.
It wasn't any of the sex or the drugs. It was the baby oil ring that he had going.
The thing about that is how many other people now are going to come out that have been at his parties, or like the trail that's going to come from that is going to be insane.
Oh, there's a trail for sure.
The trail is especially when it comes to, we've talked about that with cheating before. Like, have you ever met anybody that's cheated and successfully got away with it?
Oh yeah, a couple people.
Really?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
do you see it in the hotels a lot?
Oh yeah. I mean, you run into people, you're like, oh, that guy's married, and then you see her with another chick the next night, like, oh, okay, maybe zip code, and then you see them go back together later, and like, oh no, that poor girl. Oh, should I tell her? And like, no. What I've learned, don't get involved with other people's shit. Just
No.
at least stay away. Let that burn out on its own. Sometimes it doesn't burn out though.
Man, see, my thing was always that just that you're gonna get caught just because of the trail. Like that's the thing, you're gonna run into somebody else. Eventually you're gonna have to take the person that you're cheating with somewhere.
Yep.
And someone's gonna see you.
True.
Unless she wears a burqa or something like that. That's the only way.
I think that's why a lot of career cheaters do all their fucking out of town.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
How
get
many
guys like
traveling
Dave
salesmen
Grohl with side families now?
I mean, I worked at a hotel for a little while at the front desk, and there were definitely women that didn't come in with the guy that checked in, that would only be there for a couple hours, and they'd come a couple times a week. Like that hotel I was at, there were a lot of doctors that were there that were travel doctors. And there were various people, potentially nurses. I don't know what they were, but they'd show up and then leave. But I never asked. That would just be that'd be another weird situation to have to unlock, would be to like unlock your mistress's room.
Oh my God. It's only a matter of time before I get a weird one like that. I mean, I get weird ones all the time, but it's only a matter of time. I've had people like definitely cheating on their spouse, locked out at the other person's place, and like, she knows where I am. I got to get out of here quick. Can you unlock it faster, man? Come on, hurry up. Like, no.
Jesus.
I'm going to go real slow now.
She's
Don't beg faster. That's not how it works.
like, fuck this. I want to watch the show when she gets here.
Yep.
Better than cable.
Yep. One time I was at the house. I'm out there working, unlocking the thing. And I get a call from a neighbor. Hey, you're a locksmith, right? You're outside of this one address. I said, yeah, that's me. And he goes, wow, the lady that lives there, her and her husband are in a domestic and they're fighting, and he's got a restraining order against him. Well, his name's on the title of the house. I looked it up. So like, he has the right to be there and no one else is there. So, but the kids kept saying, oh, this guy, dad, mom's going to be so mad. Like, mom's going to be so mad. Well, in rolls mom, and mom is fit to be tied. Screw you. I'm going to burn this house down. I'm blah, blah. They start fighting with each other. The kids start fighting with them.
Whoa.
It was it's like trailer park level crazy. It was
nice.
How often do you interact with the police?
All the time. Honestly, mostly the smaller departments. The big departments, I don't. I don't talk to nearly as much because they're usually not nearly as helpful.
Do they ever have to summon you to get into places?
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm on a dispatch list for all the PDs around here, so I get calls all the time.
What about like a SWAT call?
I haven't got a SWAT call yet, but I did have to help animal control and a couple of well-armed officers into a home to check on an animal. I've done a bunch of evictions over the years, guns drawn evictions, where I'm picking the lock and there's officers behind me with their pistols out, getting ready to bust in as soon as I get the door open.
Why wouldn't they just, but how hard is it to really kick in a door?
It's harder than
I think every guy has wanted to do that once.
Yeah, but it's cheaper to pay the locksmith than to replace the fucking damaged shit.
I know, but it looks awesome.
well,
You gotta
A lot
stop
of-
watching TV.
well, no,
Really?
it is, but
Really?
it looks like they just take a battering ram out and smash the door down. It's pretty great.
I mean, realistically, if I
encourage
walk
'em.
up to the average guy's door, how hard is it to do?
Average door, probably like 2 hits.
Good to know.
Well, if it's a solid core door, there's no windows in it. And depending on, if it's got a deadbolt too, it also depends on the strength of the frame because it's not about the fucking door, it's the frame.
Yep.
Because you hit the door's not going to give, the frame's going to give.
Menards doors are made out of paper, so I mean you can pretty much over with your body.
Yeah, I would think a trailer park door is probably easier to kick in than, your mansion solid oak door.
Yep. I got mine door has tested the other night, so I tried to kick mine in.
What?
Jokes. Reinforced door.
What the hell did you do to have? Do you know who it was?
No idea. We'll find him someday though.
Oh shit!
Great. They'll be like, yeah, locksmith,
He's gonna come home from work some night, and you're gonna be sitting there in the dark on his couch, just like, hi.
How you doing?
he already knows where I live. He knows my security's low. I'm just saying, if some crazy guy comes to his house, and does that when he's home, that guy's gonna have a couple holes in him.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what you got hole punters for,
Good Lord. What kind of security would you actually recommend for someone who does not want people entering their home?
Just have bolts on the door, worth it. Reinforcing the frame of the door, absolutely worth it.
Is a camera really much of a deterrent?
It is a little bit, but it's more about catching the guy afterwards than anything else. Because if someone really wants in your place and they want to steal your shit, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna get in, they're gonna get something, and they're gonna leave. And because the police response time in almost all of America is at an abysmal 15 to 20 minutes for an alarm call, even. So they're not getting there that fast. And if you break a window in a neighborhood now, nobody calls the police because they're afraid that's going to blow back on them. So,
yeah,
nobody looks out for anybody anymore. So they know that. But if you have a camera and you have footage of the guy, you can find him. The cops usually know the guy. 9 times out of 10, the cops know who the guy is.
Somebody that they've probably already arrested.
Oh yeah, the people that do that kind of stuff do it all the time. Like they're repeat offenders 100% of the time.
Interesting.
I had a coworker down in Milwaukee, and this guy, broad daylight, broke into her and her hubby's house while they were gone, and stole some stuff. And he was digging through her dainties as well, which really creeped her out. And they got pictures of him on like the Ring camera. It's like an old guy. He's like in his 60s.
Yep.
And it's their big concern was like their animals were missing, but then basically the animals had just run away because they freaked out, and then some people found them and brought them back. But she was really worked up just to, like, how fucking brazen this was. The guy just wearing normal street clothes. It wasn't like he was all dressed in black like some sort of fucking cartoon or something.
You ever watched It Takes a Thief?
No, I've heard of it, but no, I haven't seen it.
Basically, they turn the house over. If you're a real thief and you know what you're doing, once they're in the house, every drawer gets turned over because people like to hide their money in their underwear drawer because they think no one's ever going to look there. But everybody hides it there. So it's always turned over. If someone rips through a house, underwear is always gone through, especially ladies' underwear because they keep fancy jewelry in there usually.
Interesting. See, that's the reason I keep all of mine in my jail pocket, if you're familiar with that phrase.
Nice.
It's always on.
Yep. I travel with it.
Sometimes it little people know though. That's the problem.
You know, the story that I heard when I was on one of my vacations that was the most impressive one of somebody smuggling something into a jail was a guy that was
Bowling
out on
ball?
what's that?
A bowling ball?
No, this might be worse. Um, a guy, well, there's the story from Miami about the guy that actually he got arrested on purpose. His gang told him to get arrested, and he brought in a hand grenade in his ass.
What
And
do
they
you
got
mean?
him on the metal
Wow.
detector, and they actually had to bring the bomb squad in to remove a
Well,
hand grenade,
yeah.
take him to a hospital to get a hand grenade out of his ass. He was supposed to assassinate another gang leader. But
Jesus Christ.
hey, are
Like,
you the guy that had the hand grenade in your ass? You got to be nervous when you do that. But no, it was the guy that he had been on work release, and some guys asked him to bring in chew. Now, normally when something like this gets done, you would bring it in a plastic bag and up the old. But
Mhm.
no, he brought in 3 cans of chew, the round tins, in his ass.
Wow.
What was funny about that was they actually did get busted eventually, and the guy was just like, the guy that busted him was just kind of like, I can't even punish you for this because you probably already punished yourself.
Yeah, I think that'd be permanent damage.
They didn't
Yeah.
even take away his work release. They're just like, just don't fucking do this again. And the guy's kind of like,
Jesus.
I don't think I can.
Had to sew him up after that. He's got a colostomy bag for the rest of his life.
Yeah, yeah.
Good Lord. I mean, yeah, cans of chew. And, you know, the hand grenade one, I've got to look that up. Actually, you were talking though about the underwear thing too. We actually had a guy in our dorm, um, the old good old TC dorm that we called Panty Raider because he had been busted when he was in high school, um, going into a coworker's house, a girl's house, and stealing her underwear.
Yep.
That's all he took too. He just took her underwear.
We had a
So
landlord like that. He got court ordered to have a management company because he only rented to women, and then he would peep in their rooms, and when they weren't there, he'd steal their panties.
yeah, yeah, we called that guy Panty Raider. Actually, he didn't last long in the dorm just due to the level of harassment that he got from that. But how much should you trust a landlord?
Oh no, not as far. It really depends, but usually not as far as you can throw the guy, which usually isn't far because they're usually big guys. So
Hmm,
some of them,
interesting.
but it is it's tough to trust somebody that eventually only sees you as profit. Some guys start out
Yeah.
and they're kind and they're cool, but usually the money and the dollar signs eventually makes them think, oh well, you were late on rent one day, eviction. You broke something in it, eviction. And they just start acting like that all the time. I got one in town that I barely work with anymore because that's how they act.
I don't know that I've ever gotten, even in places that I haven't trashed, I don't know that I've ever gotten a security deposit back. I think that's a huge scam.
Most of them have to. If you challenge a landlord on a security deposit, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get more money than you were going to get before because they overcharge for everything, like a rekey. It's like one lock. You go over a rekey it costs maybe it costs them $100. If it's real expensive town, they charge you 500. It's not how it works.
Now the question is, how often, when was the last time you locked yourself out of someplace?
Ooh, it'd have been like probably like 10 years ago ish, 11 years, 10 years ago. I locked myself out of my truck with 11 sets of keys or 19 sets of keys. Can't remember exactly what number it was, but 11 sets of keys inside, sitting in a bag. I had to call my wife to bring another set down to let me back in.
And are you still not hearing the end of that one?
No, she's all right with it. I mean, she let that one go pretty good. But I mean, there was a couple weeks there where it was like Oh, you're gonna lock yourself out again? Like, no, no, no. There's more spare keys now. I just made more. This, why not? You got a key machine. Just make more spare
Yeah,
keys.
his wife's a kind, loving person, and not usually went out for revenge.
No,
Not
no.
not like the psychopaths that we tend to date.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Your wife have any single friends?
Don't go
Only,
there, dude. Trust me, don't go there.
Ah, nuts.
only, only crazy ones. Her and I both have something in common. We only attract generally crazy folks to our life for the most part. So,
You're welcome.
ah, you know,
Wait a
I
minute.
appreciate.
What's the you're welcome for? There's a story behind this.
Well, no, just all of this. He gets to come
Oh,
on
okay.
Radio Mofo and share stories, and
I was wondering if you were the matchmaker that hooked up him with his wife.
no,
That was,
no,
that was,
we've only known each other a couple of years.
His
that dating they talked about in the 303 music video. I went on there and that's where me and my wife met.
I'm not
Plenty,
from the what?
plenty of fish.
Oh,
Oh God, I forgot about that one.
the
Oh, it's just
last the last time that I looked on there, I was matched up with a bunch of dudes. And actually, I've checked Facebook dating too, and I'm convinced that guys just go they just swipe right on everything that comes up,
Yep.
just on the chance that like law of averages, one of them's gonna go, oh, this might work. Like just
No,
not reading.
there's a lot of damaged goods in our age bracket on those dating apps.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I look at Match.com every once in a blue moon just because I'm feeling masochistic, and I'm like, wow, some of these gals have been on here for years.
That's something that I've noticed before, and I've wanted to ask. I've wanted
And
to
these
send
are
a
the
message.
worst possible pictures.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the
Sometimes I
meme
wonder if someone
before.
is reverse catfishing them.
Huh.
Like they're trying to like make them look bad, so they put together a horrible profile of them.
Could
Ooh,
be.
that would be a serious revenge on somebody, would be to
Oh yeah.
create a dating profile with like a lot of really personal information about this person.
Like if you want to fuck up somebody's marriage, you basically, it's like a sexual SWAT call.
Oh
You know,
my God.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
has to have been done before.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we should create one for the university
No,
professor.
I'm sorry I even brought it up. I'm sorry I even brought it up.
I got a lot of spare time this weekend,
I know
man.
you do. That's why I'm sorry I brought it up. Use your powers of evil for good, Mikey. Use it for good.
Uh, that's not as much fun though.
I know, but the world's shitty enough the way it is.
About creating one for the university professor that just got removed from his. He's
Gal the
done.
plow.
Out
He's
the plow.
done
Yep.
now. He's done now, right?
Yep.
Yep.
He's gonna start his lawsuit. We'll see what happens there.
I'll probably.
Now, have I haven't looked yet, but have you seen any of the material?
Oh yeah.
When the
Yeah.
story originally broke, I went and looked at it. I'm like, yeah, it's two old people having sex. It's very well filmed, but
Oh,
there's nothing remotely interesting about it for a normal person.
well, so there's good production value.
Super good.
Yeah, I mean, they hooked up with professional porn stars and they were basically using for like quality porn, not like the gonzo shit that when they film in like in hotel rooms. It was, good color saturation, good shots, good angles, but it's old wrinkly people.
So, Todd, as a porn connoisseur, what would your rating be for
Production values 10,
on the
content
paper
2.
towel scale?
Oh, God, non-existent.
I was talking. Do you remember Up All Night on USA, the show that Gilbert Gottfried hosted it for a while?
It was him and some other gal, Rhonda Shear.
It was all softcore kind of. It was just like Spring Break Girls in Trouble or something like that.
Yeah,
And he had the paper towel scale.
Jesus. He used to do articles for the National Lampoon magazine, and oh my God, those things were fucking filthy and scathing.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Oh yeah, by all means. All right,
think
we're down to
we-
the 2-minute mark.
Down to the 2-minute mark. I think we need to. I think I'm gonna work on those shirts first of all for the locksmith, and then I think we need to work on some kind of a mofo bar crawl with the locksmith at some point. I will be mobile again shortly. I'm looking at buying a vehicle. So
Well, do you still have a digital recorder?
yep.
We're gonna have to find some other places to go get audio outside of the bar scene.
I've speed dating. We crashed one of those.
No, I mean, we'll do the research. We'll find something, or maybe we can get a bunch of some of the old crew together at some spot and then buy them all around a beer or three and be like, all right, let's start telling stories.
I think that's a bet. I think we're gonna do that. All
Or,
right.
or just buy a bunch of frozen pizzas. They may want frozen pizzas more than alcohol now. We'll see.
Yeah.
Fair.
Or
THC gummies, whatever.
gummies.
You know me, I'm always planning. I'm always thinking ahead.
All right. Well, we'll work on that in the future and then reassemble as the whatever you call us of mofo, like the Thundercats.
Cats.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we're out.